Solving a quadratic equation by completing the square, part 3. So these problems, and this is my example C, are different from the ones we just saw because the x squared is not alone. There is a leading coefficient, there is a number in the front of it, okay? So when that happens, I cannot just go straight to finding my b over 2, my b over 2 squared. I need this x squared to be all by its lonesome. So what I need to do to get rid of this negative 2 that is being multiplied by the x squared is to divide by negative 2. But we have to keep everything even. I can't just divide the first term and not everything. So everything will get divided by that negative 2, including the 0. Got to keep it even. So this will leave me with just a positive x squared. Negative 16 divided by negative 2 is a positive 8. The x falls down. And negative 10 divided by negative 2 is a positive 5. 0 divided by negative 2 is still a 0. And then from here, we just follow our steps. So I need to find my b over 2, and I need to find my b over 2 squared. Okay, my b over 2, my b is 8. It is not the negative 16, it is the 8. This is my b now. You can't find your b until your x squared, your first term, is all by itself. So b is 8. So b over 2 is 8 over 2, or 4. We'll hold on to that. My b over 2 squared is just going to be that 4. Because b over 2 was 4, so it's going to be that 4 squared, which gives me 16. 16. Oh, I kind of went out of order here. The first thing I was supposed to do was move the wrong c. This is not the correct c for the perfect square. I will subtract that 5 from both sides. So I have x squared plus 8x, and I will leave a blank for the proper c. 0 minus 5 gives me negative 5, and I leave that same blank over here. Okay, I'm going to fill in that blank with the correct c, and the correct c is the 16. 16. If I do it to one side, I do it to the other. I got to keep it equal. Now I will rewrite my left-hand side as a binomial. My variable was x this time. Remember that what goes in here inside the parentheses is my b over 2, which was the 4. This was a positive 4 this time, right? So plus 4. Make sure you have your sign with it, whether it be positive or negative. And remember, this came from the fact that what I'm really finding are the numbers that add to the middle and multiply to the end, a.m. like in the morning. The numbers that both multiply to 16 and add to 8 are both 4, right? 4 times 4 is 16. 4 plus 4 is 8. So my answer would have been an x plus 4 in factored form. It would have been an x plus 4 twice, right? So our x plus 4 squared. These two lines are equivalent. On the right-hand side, I just want to put my negative 5 together with my 16, and negative 5 plus 16 gives me 11. All right? From here, since I'm trying to solve for x, I need to free it from that square, so I'm going to square root it. That will cancel, square root. And what I have left is x plus 4 equals, and remember, whenever we take a square root, we have a plus or minus. So plus or minus the square root of 11, because again, the square root of 11 is not an integer. It is not any kind of whole number. My last step would be to get x all alone. I need to get rid of this plus 4, so I will do that by subtracting 4. And I have two answers. I always have two answers. Because the x is to the second power, so there are two answers. I have my x, I have my negative 4, and I have the case with a plus the square root of 11, and I have the case with a minus the square root of 11. And from here, we just put it into the calculator. And remember, our directions wanted us to round to the nearest hundredth, so 2 decimal places. Negative 4 plus the square root of 11 gives me negative 0.68, and negative 4 minus the square root of 11 gives me negative 7.32. Okay, we notice that the endings do not match on this one, but that is okay. It doesn't mean it's wrong. Oftentimes they do, but they don't always have to. And in this case, they don't. C2 is a star for you guys to try.